Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Almighty Allah, the entirely merciful and especially merciful. Dear viewers across the planet, I greet you as I greet every human being on this planet by using the best greeting that I have learned from the beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Wishing all of you peace. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Dear viewers, welcome to this program, Treasures from the Holy Quran. As if you are ready, I'm quite sure that the most of the people or the majority of the people are ready to document by either some machines or by writing or by any means, because as we know that we had been advised by our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, document knowledge. So we're asked to document knowledge because the nature of human being is to forget, to eliminate the negative effects of forgetting, so that we can write and document and take notes so that we can read it for them another time, reread it and analyze it and compare it and do all these fantastic things so we can get the benefit more and more and more. So today we are going to learn one new verse in the chapter of An-Nahl, Surah An-Nahl, chapter of the bees, talks about the bees. We are not going to talk about the bees, but the chapter is called Surah An-Nahl, and we are going to take this chapter number 27. And this ayah is related to ayah number 88. 88, chapter 27, Surah An-Nahl. As we learned before, we learned to listen carefully, attentively, so that we would have reflective and critical thinking. So, because these tools are going to help us to learn and analyze and compare more and more, which gives us deeper understanding, which is the first goal and the first objective that we are targeting today. Because once you understand, you can move on to the following step, which is you can compare it or link it with other ayat so that you can get global or bigger picture in order to get deeper understanding. Then after that, you can share it with others, because we want everybody to share it with each other, because our goal is to educate all the population, the inhabitants of this planet, the 7.7. And I wish that there is a way that we can do that. What we are using currently would help us to achieve some of the goal. Yet our target, my target, and the target of every believer is to share the positives, the good things, the valuable knowledge that we are dealing with every human being on this planet. Because this is the target. What we love for ourselves, we share it with others. And the more you share, the more you gain. This is the Islamic rule. Every time you share it with other people, you gain more and more rewards from Almighty Allah. You're not going to charge anybody. This is not at the expense of any one of the audience or the listeners or any one of those people. Rather, we are going to get rewards from the Lord of the people. And this is our goal. Dear viewers, today we are going to discuss an ayah that talks about the mountains. Let's see how the ayah is versed in the Quran. Then we will, inshallah, try to explain it in the best way that we can share it with others. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. This is ayah number 88, chapter 27. وَتَرَى الْجِبَالَ تَحْسَبُهَا جَامِدَةً وهي تمر مر السحاب صنع الله الذي أتقن كل شيء إنه خبير بما تفعلون إنه خبير بما تفعلون. This can roughly be translated as, and you will see the mountains and think they are solid, but they shall pass away as the passing away of the clouds. The work of Allah, who perfected all things, verily, He is well acquainted with what you do. Beautiful verse, beautiful verse. You read it in any language, although the nature of translation does not give you the exact meaning, yet you will get a flavor of it. And this asks you again and reminds you that one of your tasks, one of your duties, assignments in this dunya is to learn Arabic. As other people learned, you can learn Arabic, you can excel in Arabic, and you can master it even better than the native speakers. Yes, you can. Studying would lead you to that, and we hope everybody would take it seriously on the long run. You put a plan for a few months, for a few years, for whatever time that you are or you have available with you, and use it in a scientific way, and inshallah it will lead you there. So here the verse, it asks, and the verses before it, it asks you to look around you all the time. Look around you. You have this critical eye. You're looking to reflect and to evaluate what is around you, to see what is that. What did Allah say about that? So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His mercy, is giving us this kind of knowledge. Look around you, you find the mountains. One of the things that we find is the sky, the clouds. You find a lot of things around you. So here is one of them, is look at the mountains around you. You think the first impression that they are so solid that they will never fall apart or asunder or fall down or come into pieces, small pieces. These mountains are so big, so strong, these stones. Can it be so small? Can it be broken? Who can do that? It would take people years to do this. Yes, but now, all the time you remind yourself you're not dealing with humans. You are dealing with the creator of humans. You're dealing with the creator of the universe. Here, the creator of the universe is telling us, when you look at these mountains, solid mountains, and you may think that it's impossible for them to move, but they will move. And one sign is that they will move on the Day of Judgment. But in reality, that they move even now, because the whole planet, although we don't feel it physically, but in reality, the whole planet that we live on is moving. As the clouds are moving, the planet is moving. Not just our mother planet, the Earth. It applies to all the planets. They are moving around. Everything is moving, but you don't feel that. On the Day of Judgment, even that day, these things will move to the degree that they will fly. They will dissolve. The mountains will dissolve? Yes, they will. These strong rocks will move and dissolve and vanish, and they will move as the clouds move? Yes, they will. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this beautiful verse for us, because it's an ayah. We look at every verse as an ayah, as a sign that it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rabbul Alameen, Rabbul Alameen. So he said that Sunna Allah. This is the product of Allah. It's not the product of a human. It's not the product of a factory. It's not a product of a company or an institution or anything. It's not the product even of all human beings. If they gathered together, they wouldn't be able to produce a product like this. Sun Allah. What is the quality of Sun Allah? الذي أتقن كل شيء. He is the one who perfected creating everything. So everything is perfect. That's why the first impression, the first response of every Muslim, when he or she looks at any product that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala produced, immediately we as believers say, Subhanallah, Subhanallah, glory be to Allah, how perfect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, versus how imperfect the products of human beings are. We know that across history, we used to be proud if we wear a product or if we buy a product that is made in Japan or made in America or made in England or made in Korea or made whenever a country is advanced and excel in something, their products are improving day after day, day after day, day after day. But we use them. We use them. After some time, we see the wear and tear. We see kinds of imperfection. They no longer work as they used to work 20 years ago or 30 years ago. This is the nature of the products of humans. But the nature of the products of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are perfect. Perfect means that they don't need any addition to them. They don't need any deletion from them. They don't need anything, any other comment on them or any other improvement. No way. This does not apply to the product of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all the time we say subhanallah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ended the verse by this useful phrase or statement, إِنَّهُ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَفْعَلُونَ. He's an expert of what you do. You are doing good in many things, this and this and this, yet nothing reaches perfection, only the product of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't find these products in the mall or in the streets, or you can buy them. The only thing, the only way that you get the flavor of them when you deal with the creation of Allah, nature. Unfortunately, people say that, look at nature. We say that, look at the products of Allah, because nature itself, including everything, including the rivers and the flowers and the seas and the mountains and the stars, everything in this nature is a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why we usually say the Khaliq is Allah, the creator, and the Makhluq is whatever is created by Allah is treated as Makhluq. I am a Makhluq, all of you are Makhluqs, the mountains, the stars, the rivers, everything around you in this universe is a product of Allah, is a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and other verses, and we are going to deal with them all the time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, look, هذا خلق الله, هذا خلق الله. Then what do you expect? You expect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to tell us, فأروني ماذا خلق الذين من دونه. This is what Allah created. Look at it. Reflect upon it. See how great it is and compare. Tell me, what are the products of others besides than Allah? Did they create anything? Did they create the mountains? Did they create the sun? They did not create. But this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us to see, to help us see how great and how perfect the products of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are. And we take this immediately. We value this. And we make our studies and we make our research to see how valuable these things. We know the value immediately, yet the more research we do and the more comparisons we do, if there is something to compare with, you know how great Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why from the bottom of our hearts and from the deep thinking of our minds, we do say, Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah wa bihamdi, Subhanallah al-Azim. It's very important to go around us and to see, as the other verses that we are going to discuss, there is an invitation, a motivation for all of us to go outside and see parts, little sample of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala produced for us, khalqullah, so that we would really glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We know it, we have learned this. Our educational background is full of examples of this, yet we need more and more and more. This is one of the things, by the way, a lot of people, unfortunately, especially those who are interested in tourism, they go for tourism for other reasons. But believers, when they go for tourism and they go to see, and whenever, even if by chance, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught us, أَفَلَا يَنظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ وإلى السماء كيف رفعت وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت. Don't you see what's around you? Don't you see all these animals, including the camels and others, how they are shaped and how they act and what purposes they serve? Don't you see that? You all the time, even if you are doing tourism, it's not just for enjoyment, superficial enjoyment. It's when you enjoy looking at them and you see the beauty of them, you immediately remember the Creator of all these cattle and animals, the Creator of all these butterflies and all these insects, and the Creator of everything around you. You immediately say, Subhanallah, glory be to Allah. How great Allah is, and this is what you need, what Muslims need all the time, because this would really make a strong link between your belief. In your belief system, you need to develop this and practice, and you can practice it every moment, and that's why every second you have an opportunity to say Subhanallah, you say Subhanallah al-Azim. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, Subhanallah wa alhamdulillah, all these kinds of tasbih and glory to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that your belief system, alhamdulillah, develops and gets better and better and better. That's why you see the believers, alhamdulillah, don't usually see the psychologists or the psychiatrists, or they don't get into that thing. They don't suffer from any depression. They don't suffer from any anxiety. This is the average, normal believer who really exercises all these kinds of tasbih to strengthen the link with the Creator. And we do thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us these great opportunities so that we would be able to develop this kind of strength of iman with him. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.